let's chat. I don't know where to start. Recently, I went out for drinks with friends who are in the same industry that I am. So my day job is to be a graphic designer, and I met up with some ex-colleagues from one of my previous jobs, and we talked about generally how things are going, both in their job and in my new one. I realized within that conversation that I had a lot to think about and to express myself on within that topic, and that's where I thought, why not make a video about it, have a little chat together and see what comes out of it. We were talking about how the new person who pretty much is replacing me in that job is doing and how well they're integrating in the company. And it sounded like someone who's very confident, and in general it's someone I think who will rise very high and just will continue rising within their career. A little while ago I heard really good news, which also made me feel slightly bad about myself, which is that one of my ex-colleague, who basically was someone more junior than me in the company that had mentored once or twice, had been made design director level, and I'm still senior designer level, and this is the third job that I'm now in where I'm still just senior designer level. When I got the previous job I was in, the recruiters said to me that I was pretty much almost already designer level, and when I left that job I did not feel that confidence anymore. And although I only slightly believe them just in terms of what they were saying, they're not actually in the job, they're just recruiters, they still do see a lot of people go through their agency, and at the time, I think I would have believed it, and now I wouldn't. So what's changed? Well, simply enough, I was micromanaged by someone who did not make me feel any confidence in my skills whatsoever. When I left that job, I ended up somewhere that I feel a lot better in, but the requirements of my current job are a lot lesser, and I can see how I could easily stagnate in my career if I don't push for it myself, if I don't become someone like that other person who's currently doing my previous job. And it's not about confidence anymore. I'm not someone who wants to push for more, to show extra willingness, extra initiative, all of these things that I probably had more in me as I was younger and I was earlier on in my career, and I just don't have it in me anymore. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. When we talked about it with my friends, we realized it's very much a societal expectation that comes from previous generations for us, where people would tell us the thing you must want, the thing you need to absolutely go for is further in your career. It's climbing the ladder. It's becoming better at your job until you get that promotion, and the next one, and the next one, until you rise up the ranks. And with promotions come more responsibilities usually. With higher job titles comes more things to do, more bullet points in the list of your job description. Why am I talking about all this when this is a channel where I tend to talk more about reading and writing? Because it impacts that life that I have. It impacts that hobby. Talking to my friends about this, I realized I don't actually want to be that person anymore, and I don't actually want to rise the ranks anymore. Although there's a part of me that still needs to reconcile with that new idea, because I have very much internalized a lot of these messages from older generations telling us you must want this, right? But there's also a bigger part of me now that really relishes in that work-life balance that I now have, because I don't have that same hunger anymore. When I'm saying it's not a bad thing, I worry people are gonna listen to the message I'm giving here and think, wow, she does not give a fuck anymore. And that is not the case. I do very much care about loving my job. I do very much care about what I do on a day-to-day basis. And in the new job that I'm in, I'm really enjoying most of my days. Most of my working days are still full of creativity. I am still a graphic designer and I do a lot of creative stuff. I'm still pushing for my work to be as good as possible, for myself to be able to do more creative things within my day job. And I'm constantly trying to make sure that I don't give up. I don't suddenly think, I don't care, and whatever. But I'm focusing my trying more on the aspect of things that is the creativity itself, perhaps, and maybe less so when it comes to things like leadership. The thing I really wanted to talk about in this video, and I've digressed so much, but the reason why I thought about this topic in relation to my writing as well is because one of the benefits of my new job is that when I close my laptop, I don't have to think about the work anymore. It is gone, it is behind me. And I think that's something I'm really happy with, but that's also one of the reasons why I might see this career progression as a little bit more of a straight line from now on rather than a steep slope. When I think of those other people, like this person who's replacing me in my previous job, I generally think they are the people who will continuously think about work after work is done, who will want to get more by doing more outside of their work hours. Hence why their job becomes their hobby, or their hobby becomes their job. There is a little bit of a loop in there, and I think they generally breathe design, they live it. But one of the reasons why I don't think I will ever be that person, and I'm happy not to be, and why it works out for me, is because despite my job being highly creative, I also have a highly creative hobby, which is writing. This is when this video finally comes full circle and you finally get why I'm talking about this on this channel, where I'm mostly talking about my writing. I'm content enough and happy enough leaving work behind and not having it as a constant presence when a lot of people aspire to become this design director level or further. I don't care as much because I have other things I care about, and I need that breathing space between these two different creative endeavors. So my job is highly creative, but so is my hobby in completely different ways. So why did I want to make this video in the first place? I think I needed to come to terms with that, with the fact that I am purposefully letting go of some aspirations that don't feel like they're for me anymore, because I'm trying to achieve different ones. When I say that I want to spend more time being able to think about writing and to do writing, it's also because the hobby in itself is something I'd like to at some point get money from by publishing, whether it is the traditional publishing route or the self-publishing route. But both of those require a lot of time and a lot of breathing space, not just because of writing the words down themselves, but because even just as I'm researching agents I would like to query with the art of summoning demons, that takes a lot of mind space, and I don't have that mind space if I'm constantly stressed out or tired from work, or if my creative well is empty because I've used all of it within my job. I've been pondering this topic a little bit and I don't have a proper conclusion yet. I just think this is the current state that my mindset is at, and I'm absolutely open to it changing again, because a job can change. I could be in a different job. Other things, other aspects of my life could change and influence what's going on there, and I could think completely differently in a year from now. But I think I was trying to express this sentiment in video format because it's almost like writing an essay for me, and it allows me to think about it while I'm talking through it. It's all about balance, and balance is so hard to strike. So when I think about things like that, all I can do is hope that I'm inching in the right direction. My current mindset is very much, I am happier for it, but I'm still struggling to accept that fact. There is a part of me that won't completely die down, that has a little bit of that ambition, but there's a bigger part of me that feels happier just generally and is able to enjoy life a lot more without that ambition. So this was the topic I really wanted to talk about and share with you guys, and I don't really know how well this video is going to be received, but if you have any insight into this topic in general and you want to debate it with me or just talk about it some more, please leave a comment down below. I'm really curious what other people think about it. So on this note, if you like these kinds of chatty videos where I'm deciding to bring up a random topic that I want to talk about, I will do more of those if you leave a like down below and let me know that you enjoyed this kind of content. Consider subscribing to my channel, ring that bell, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one.